I like to travel. Over the past few years, I've grown increasingly addicted to exploring. What's one of the best things to explore when traveling? Sampling the local cuisine. Where'll I wind up next? This is Mad Marty, and this is The Mill on Mad Respect Eats. Check out the actual review listed in the description. The Mill is an interesting establishment that is found in the northern Rockford metro area, but precisely at 9032 North 2nd Street, also known as Illinois 251, in Machesney Park, Illinois. It is a bar and grill style restaurant that opened in May 2023, and at time of review, it had been open nearly a year. Admittedly, I come through this area pretty frequently, and I've stopped here more often than many other places I've reviewed. In its relatively young life, I've been witness to some of the evolution the Mill has been through, and I felt that made it a good candidate for review. So, to begin our pros versus cons analysis, as always, let's begin with the pros. One of the more curious questions about the Mill I ask myself is it more of a restaurant, or is it more of a bar? After careful consideration, I've deemed the Mill to be more the former. I think it works more as a pro and to their advantage in this regard. The stronger restaurant vibe makes the Mill more family-friendly. I think it does have an impact on the food quality. It just gives the place a better atmosphere. Speaking of atmosphere, the building itself had gone under a lot of renovations prior to their opening, and it's clear that a lot of effort went into the design of the bar and the overall dining area. It's very well crafted, feels very clean. It makes the Mill feel very up to date with the times. Also, this makes it a pretty good spot for group events. It could easily handle a variety of parties or outings. For parties that are 30 plus people, probably more. And the Mill also has a crazy amount of TVs, which come in handy for sporting events like the NFL, NBA, NCAA, or whatever your poison is. The next pro isn't really a pro for me personally, but in early 2024 they added gaming machines, if playing slots is your thing. Also, at time of review, they also have other dart machines, which during this particular year they were hosting dart events for various leagues. One final note on the atmosphere, I just would like to say that they really have a very nice outdoor patio area, which does have a lot of potential for summer outdoor seating if they became so inclined. Moving on to one of the more important pros, let's talk about the food. At the Mill, the food throughout my visits had maintained an exceptional level of quality that I find unusual for a bar and grill. I'm just going to speak bluntly here for a moment. Most of the time when I go to a quote-unquote bar and deal with bar food, I simply tolerate it. However, at the Mill, the food here is actually consistently good. I do feel it could compete with many sit-down restaurants out there in the corporate chains. I'm just going to go ahead and make the following points. First, patrons will not go hungry here, unless for maybe the heartiest of appetites for a 16-year-old teenager. The Mill also has steadily simplified their menu, which is probably a good call. My personal favorites tend to be the burgers, and I really love the soups, and I cannot overemphasize this. It is not normal for me to consistently have good soup at a bar, which also adds to the next pro on the food. There are a lot of menu items that I get from the Mill that I would almost never try at other bars. The Mill is surprisingly great at salads, veggies, and sandwiches. The turkey BLT is actually a personal favorite. And overall, the Mill really dispels that notion that I have to stick to fried food at bars. Finally, one of the most unique things about this place is the ownership has a tendency to allow their staff to experiment. I've seen it with entrees, drinks, and especially soups. In my opinion, this keeps their food on their menu fresh and keeps the offerings interesting. Again, unusual for a sports bar. I do like the wings too, but like I said, I tend to gravitate a little bit more to the burgers and the soups. So yeah, there's a lot of upside. But there are a couple cons that I felt were worth bringing up, even if they tend to be minor issues. The first thing I'll say is it's very easy to pass and miss this place from the road due to the mill's unusual geographical location. It's only accessible via service road on Illinois 251, and it tends to hide the place a little and messes with GPS a bit. Once you've found the place once, though, this should no longer be an issue. It just might screw you up during the first visit. The next small item that I want to bring up, and this is more of a personal whining, is I really do love those soups, but unfortunately it's a roulette wheel as to what soup will be available on any given day. I just never know. And some days I might be in the mood for chicken dumpling, or I might be in the mood for clam chowder. Whatever soup that is available that day is what's available, and I just gotta deal with it. And then finally, I want to discuss a small element that I've seen more and more commonly post-COVID, and that is the realities of staffing. As I've done more traveling in recent years, I've noticed that many places, especially restaurants, may be subject to service level drops, pretty sharp ones due to staffing issues of the day. It's actually forced me to reevaluate how much emphasis I place on service speed, because I believe this metric appears to be hit and miss everywhere in today's society, and today is no exception. Therefore, I no longer really consider it a reliable rating tool. And when I see negative reviews out there, I tend to take reviews that overemphasize this aspect with a grain of salt. So, it's just a thought. So, bottom line, the verdict. It's clear to me that the ownership and the staff at the mill have great passion and drive. They're a great local business. And I'm usually careful about giving high ratings, but I really do feel that a 5-star rating is warranted in this case. Their food quality and consistency is easily a cut above most other businesses of their specific category. And if you outperform the competition on key elements, that doesn't go unnoticed. Well done. Thanks for watching. This is Mad Marty reminding you to support a local and to do what's responsible, avoid what's irresponsible, make the most of what you got, and get respect. Mad respect. See you next time.